Hello, everyone. If anyone has observed my videos, they've been very lighthearted. I'm a singer, so I usually sing a song and I get on and off. But tonight, I'm responding to the verdict for George Zimmerman um, in the killing of Trayvon Martin. When I first heard about the story, I was outraged, as I still am. I'm outraged by this verdict, and I'm outraged by the idea of anyone coming up with any reason that it was okay to murder this innocent child walking down the street. I'm like emotionally, I've been affected by this emotionally, enough for me to want to get on YouTube and discuss some things. The first thing that I would like to address is the fact that I think that African Americans, we need to band together. And first of all, take a look at ourselves and try to figure out why we're killing ourselves on the street. We have to stop. We don't have as big of a voice as we would have if we didn't have the huge statistics that show that we are the main ones killing one another. Not in any way trying to justify what George Zimmerman did because he's a murderer. But we need to use this incident as a reason for us to be more united as a people. We need to just stop killing ourselves. That's the first thing. Secondly, I'd like to address the fact that I watched this guy, what is his name? I wrote his name down, Stefan Molyneux, and he came up with all of these reasons that George Zimmerman should have been, the verdict should have been that George Zimmerman was not guilty. He said that Trayvon was violent. He said that Trayvon used drugs and that there was more than marijuana involved, and that he potentially could have been using something else, which was not found in his system. When the autopsy was performed, he talked about all of these other drugs and what the effects of them are that just were not found in his system. Stefan, you're a racist. You are a complete and utter racist. This young man, regardless to what else in his life, because I don't know him, I don't know what else was going on, he had the right to walk down the street. He was not on private property. He was just walking down the street. And the fact remains that he was murdered, shot in the chest. This man wasn't even trying to, George Zimmerman wasn't even trying to just injure the man. He killed him. He didn't try to shoot him in the leg. He didn't try to disable him. He could have maybe even tried to get away. I don't know. Whatever happened, the man is a murderer. He shot the young man point blank in the chest. And that's the fact. Those are the facts. But I don't want to address anyone other than the African American community. That's what I would like to address, because nobody is going to be our savior. Nobody's going to come to our rescue. It's up to us to demand that we be treated the way that we should be treated. There is not one Caucasian male, female, or any other race other than African American that can tell me how it feels to be profiled, because it hasn't happened to you. You're not qualified to do it. We are angry about it because we live it every day. On top of living it every day, we witness things like this. A lot of people are angry, not so much angry just because of what happened to Trayvon. It's what happened to Trayvon in conjunction with what may have happened to, you know, for example, I've had some horrible things happen to me. My record is clean. I'm a homeowner. I work. I'm not involved in any illegal activity at all whatsoever. And well, I live in Long Beach, California, and I was pulled over in 2008 by Long Beach Police Department and made to get out of my car, and my arm was broken. I wasn't taken to jail. I didn't do anything illegal. My car was impounded, and it was determined that the car shouldn't have been impounded. And my arm ended up broken, and I was just let go after that. So that's proof that I didn't do anything. So when you live your life in fear, because of course that creates an issue that, you know, anyone would have after something like that has happened, and then you see something like this happen, it's infuriating. And then it also sends out a message that it's okay, you know, if you just gun down an African American man in the street. The difference between us killing ourselves and having someone else do it, and having the judicial system say that it's okay, is just that. The judicial system said it's okay. And that's what separates what happened with George Zimmerman and Trayvon Martin from the black on black crime. The black on black crime it's horrible. The statistics are just, it's unbelievable the way they were killing each other on the streets. But there's no authoritative figure. There's no judicial system that's saying, you know, that it's okay. When you get someone of another race just gun down a young man in the street, and then the judicial system says it's okay, and you just walk free and nobody's held accountable for it, that speaks volumes. What that tells us as African Americans is your life means absolutely nothing. Regardless to what happened outside, whatever, Trayvon, first of all, he was a child. Second of all, he hadn't done anything illegal. He's just walking down the street. He has the right to walk down the street. On top of that, in a community, you know, where he's living at the moment. Anyway, I don't want to rant. I don't want to go on because I'm angry. Most of my friends are angry. Most of the people that I spoke with, we're angry. And we have the right to be. As I said, I'd like to address the African American community. Brothers and sisters, we've got to do better. We have to do better. Let's start by eliminating this black on black crime. Let's start there. We'd have a bigger voice if we'd start there. Secondly, I'd like to educate people as to what their rights are. You know, for example, in a routine traffic stop, we need to educate ourselves, you know, as to what the law is and what we can and cannot do. You know, say for example, if you're pulled over on the street, which is what happened to me, so that's my particular issue. I was pulled over, made to get out of my car. My arm ended up broken. One of the police officers broke my arm. I got a small settlement in arbitration. The officer was terminated because he had some other issues. He was a hothead and had some other complaints, and I think my complaint stuck. Perhaps because my record's clean, there's no reason for him to do what he did to me. Maybe the people previous, maybe their records were tarnished a bit, which is irrelevant, but it seems to be something that is weighed heavy. It weighs heavy, you know, on a case when